Okay, in this video I'm going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of SEO and pay-per-click compared to one another. So let's jump straight into the advantages of SEO. Generally you get more clicks from SEO. A lot of research has gone into the fact that people tend to click more on the organic rankings than they do on the paid rankings. And you can appeal to a wider reach with SEO. Pay-per-click is very much more focused on keywords, which can be an advantage and a disadvantage. There's no ad blindness with organic rankings. You know, they are where they are. People know that they're not paid for rankings, and they do gain a bit more authority than a pay-per-click ad. And SEO generally provides longer term results than pay-per-click. And you know, if you do SEO, it will stay around for a lot of years to come. Disadvantages of SEO are it takes time. You know, it could take a few months. You know, everyone says pay-per-click is SEO is free. It's not free. You either pay for it in time or money to get someone to do it for you. The other big disadvantage of SEO is that the Google algorithm changes very regularly these days, and you know, they are trying to cut out any sort of optimization they feel is trying to book the game a little bit. It's very difficult to test as well with SEO because of the time taken involved to get results off the ground and ranking, and it's, you know, quite difficult to do in general. Not so much difficult, it takes time and application, which is usually, you know, people don't have the time or the incentive to do it for themselves, which is why they generally outsource it to an SEO company. The results aren't guaranteed. You know, you could be doing SEO for a number of months. You may or may not get results. That's you know, the problem is a bit of a gamble, and you certainly have a lot less control with SEO than you would with pay-per-click. So let's have a quick look now at the advantages of pay-per-click, and probably the biggest advantage is they're quick. You can test things very quickly with pay-per-click. It's easy to budget. You set a daily budget, a monthly budget, whatever you want to do it, and you can stick very rigidly to that. You get a traffic is steady. You know, there's always a massive oversupply of traffic that you can tap into from you know, Google AdWords or Bing or whichever one you want to use. It's usually a lot less hurdles to jump through to get pay-per-click campaign up and running. There are sort of the various negatives of it, which we'll touch in the next section. It's very controllable. It's more steady. It's less volatile, and you can use search and display networks, which have, you know, literally millions and millions of options for you to advertise your website. Obviously, you know, the disadvantages are that, you know, it costs money. As soon as you stop paying, you stop the traffic. You need to understand the system quite well to gain it and you know, profit from it basically. And you've got to be testing all the time to find out what's working and what's not working. You'll generally find with a pay-per-click campaign that probably 80% of what you're doing, maybe even 90% of what you're doing isn't working, and the 10% which is working works really well and will get you probably 80 or 90% of your business. It's the 80-20 rule. You've just got to be aware, whether you're doing it yourself, of how to trim back the stuff which is not working and take advantage of the stuff that is working. There is a certain amount of ad blindness with pay-per-click, as we discussed in the earlier section. Some industries are very difficult to enter because of the cost of it. You know, things like debt management, mortgages, things like that are very expensive. You're talking 25, you know, pounds sterling, you know, which could be $40 US to get in there. And you really need to understand what your goal is. And again, I see so many people go into pay-per-click and they haven't got a clue of what their goal is. And obviously one of the first videos I did in my series was all about setting goals, and it's very important that you understand what your goal is and how much you're willing to pay for a conversion. You know, if you're selling a £5 I don't know block of wood, you know, you can't really be spending £7 to sell it, because it just makes doesn't make economic sense. It's commercial suicide. So you need to know how much you can afford to spend to make that profitable. And it's not just necessarily profitable on the front end, it could be profitable on the longer term, the back end, which is taking into consideration lifetime values of what your client's worth, maybe over 12 months rather than upfront. But however, if you can, what they call self-liquidate your advertising, i.e. pay for it as it comes in and then make the money on the back end, then all you need to do is ramp up the advertising, and it's very, very scalable very, very quickly. And again, that's one of the big advantages of pay-per-click. It's very scalable. You need to optimize landing pages and quality score. This is a change of the last few years with Google. It's you could literally slap pay-per-click at any page and it would work. Now Google is tightening up on things, and different search engines have different systems. So if you want to test something and get traffic very quickly, pay-per-click's the way to go. If you want to be in the long-term game, SEO is the way to go. And it could be a case that you use both. You use pay-per-click at the start while your SEO gains results, and that is a very, very good strategy for a lot of businesses to take. I see a lot of businesses do that. You've got to, as I say, the first thing you need to do is understand what your goals are and understand what sort of money you are willing to spend to test this. It's a cost of doing business, and you need to understand, what the potential returns are by doing it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you've got any comments, please send them to me.